Fashion photography is more like movie. The first shoot I did, the model told me not to post those pictures.
Okay.
She was like, this is not my angle.
How important do you think other genres of photography helps you in fashion photography? Like you do street photography, nature photography also.
I was this person who used Chrome and then used a carom board light, and then it can be an operation theater, they use a light. That's one of the softest light you can get. After holding a camera in hand, no, it's like a passport for you to do anything you want.
Do you think people who are starting out should try film at least once so that
100%.
what do you do when it's a collaboration shoot?
I don't do collaborations. We used to collaborate for art.
So do you think photographers should stay loyal to a particular brand?
If I'm going to put somebody as an assistant for the rest of the next 4 years, 5 years, it's like me telling them you can't grow. I see a lot of photographers seeing a lot of references that will actually contaminate our thought process. People came to me for one thing. You are a person who experiment. I want to be in one of your experiments.
When it comes to fashion photography, Ganesh is one of the most creative fashion photographers that I know. Most models and designers get excited when their photographer delivers creative and unconventional outputs. And Ganesh is one such person who always delivers extremely creative pictures. Team Figuring Fashion is extremely happy to have Ganesh Toasty on the show. 80% of our viewers don't subscribe to us. So please do subscribe to our show because the more you subscribe to us, the better the guests will be able to bring to the show. Enjoy the show. Hello, brother. Welcome to our podcast.
Hi.
So you're the first photographer in our podcast. Thank you. Thank you for coming to our podcast. So how are you, brother?
Good. Thank you for having me here.
Okay.
I saw featuring fashion episodes, and
Okay.
it was more concentrated towards the field, and it
Yes.
was more interesting.
So our main goal is to capture the uh, mentality of people in fashion industry, basically. So how did you start your journey, brother?
So,
Was it self-taught or you went to some institute?
okay.
Mm.
So basically, my initial start, I finished my MBA,
Okay.
BCA,
Oh,
MBA,
superb.
and then post MBA, I worked with NIIT.
Oh, okay.
So as I slowly grew up the ladder, became a regional manager there, handling Chennai and Bangalore for them. So photography was always inside me, which I didn't know because when I did BCA, I was always with the Viscom students. So I actually liked their curriculum. When we were discussing C++ and all, they used to discuss about movies, and they were shooting and all that. I always liked that fun. I was always with them. So in that, I got a little interest towards photography. I used to click pictures with their camera. That is something I was doing. But slowly, when I started working, I normally like meeting people. So that was something which drove me inside marketing and sales and all that. But slowly, I wanted to get inside photography, but I didn't know anything. So I had one friend, his name is Raja. So he was the one person from Viscom I know who's got a lot of passion towards street photography. So I started clicking pictures. So slow, I took his camera, I started clicking pictures. And then I bought a 550D. Then it was more of street photography.
Okay.
So street photography, I used to go back to him, show it to him, and he was like, "Chan, this is not nice." And he was a very direct person.
Okay.
Then that's where it started. But I was working, and I just had the early morning hours for me to go click pictures somewhere, come back after office.
So by this time you are still also working.
I was working.
Okay.
So
Okay.
appadan camera vaange, I've started shooting and all that. So it was more of streets only. And then slowly, one point in time when I started shooting, I started liking the texture of people's skin. Every skin had a story. Everybody had a story. So initially, when you start photography, that one thing every photographer does is you go to beach or wherever, you end up taking 1,500 images, coming back, and then you'll end up only liking 4 or 5 images,
One or two
sometimes not even that.
Yeah.
So then I wanted to stop that. It was too many pictures. So every time I go to a beach or anywhere you go to shoot, I pick up one particular subject, follow him for the rest of the day, and keep clicking pictures.
Okay.
So it can be following normal people who are there. For example, people who work there, people who are there. So I started following them, taking pictures, and then even with their concept.
Okay.
So that's how it started. So that changed over to Mahabalipuram.
Okay.
So when I went to Mahabalipuram, I saw a lot of expats, travelers coming in. It was more easy for me to talk to them, start shooting with them. So I think one of the series was Sadhu.
Okay,
So
that is earlier stages. Right?
earlier stages.
Okay.
So that is when I started liking photography, because when I was following one particular person, I was able to do a story, and slowly I also liked to style them. Then I found out that I had an interest towards fashion photography.
Okay.
Then I wanted to style and take the picture.
Okay.
So there was a sadhu, I styled him like a swag and I took some pictures.
Cool.
So that's how it changed.
Okay.
So that point in time, I decided, okay, I'm traveling, Saturday, Sundays, office, work, and everything is there. So let's do one thing clearly. Let's quit this. By then I was married, because I got married when I was 24.
Oh, okay.
So I think when I started photography, started my first camera and all, I was 26. So I decided, okay, let me quit, start doing photography.
Okay.
Everybody was shocked.
Okay.
Suddenly you have an experience of 5-6 years here, and then you wanted to quit. My dad was chill. He said, whatever you like, do it. Then I quit. From there, photography started. And then I figured out I like fashion. So I started stepping to it.
Okay. But how did you get into advanced lighting,
Okay.
fully experimenting or?
For me, I was not in the age where I can go assist somebody. I was already working.
Yeah, that is one problem. No?
That's a major problem, because
After
I
you
even
cross a
asked,
certain point, you can't assist someone.
So when I approached one or two photographers, the first thing is they were like, okay, you can just try by yourself. You can do street photography. That was one. They gave me guidance, but they didn't want me as an assistant. So then I also decided, okay, let's not assist. Let's start doing it. We've chose to be a full-time photographer. Let's start doing it. So that time, wedding was one thing which helped me.
Okay.
So I started shooting. So there are 2-3 things. One is I like people. The other is I need to experiment myself with photography. So I wanted to take up all the genres. I was in fact doing products. But products, I think there was no great interest for me.
Okay.
Because I need the subject alive. So anything, it has to be alive. So that was the whole mentality I had. So slowly started from there. And then when I decided, okay, let me start experimenting. And then experiment started. The first shoot I did, I think the model told me not to post those pictures.
Okay.
She was like, this is not my angle. This is not the way you shoot and all. And I left.
How was your mentality then?
No, I was okay. So
Okay.
I know I don't know anything. Only she doesn't know that.
Correct.
Because I built up everything. Like I had a makeup artist by then. I found somebody.
Okay.
I think he charged some $2,000 to do makeup.
Okay.
Everything was there. I even didn't know what was that. Okay, somebody's charging this. I asked him what was the charge. He said 2,000. I was okay.
Okay.
Then this experiment turned towards 20-30 shoots. I never posted anything, but these shoots I kept it as experiment.
Okay.
So that is where I started growing, because there were a lot of shoots. I started paying everybody. Wedding helped me. So with weddings, whatever I was able to make, I started investing on fashion literally, because that is when I'll be able to learn as a photographer. At the same time, I'll also try different themes. Like with makeup, I've done a lot of experiments. But initial stages, I didn't know anything about makeup. Now I know what makeup is, how makeup is done. So at least to tell people what you exactly want, you need to know about all the industry. That's the thing about the photographer. You have to be the...
Yes, we have to kind of know everything, like even in styling, even in makeup, everything. So how do you navigate the creative difference that you have, which demands in a commercial project? Like let's say you have a creative vision, but the project doesn't allow you to get that vision.
So same thing when I told you, I came later to the industry. 27 was a little late. I wanted to do everything faster. So the moment I wanted to start posting my image, whatever I do, it has to be striking. So it can't be just an image where people scroll or people swipe. It can't be that way. It has to have some impact, and it has to also educate. Because when you do some work, people, I think we had very interesting photographers then, who we were not competing with each other, but we kept doing a lot of work. Like when I shoot, I think one big motivation for me was Makka, VS Anandakrishnan, because we used to post every week. We used to think.
But you guys are friends.
We're all friends.
Yes.
We meet up in events and all that.
Super.
But there was no hard feelings between us, because we were all in the same industry. We used to interact and all that. But it was nice. It was very...
constructive criticism.
It was very constructive. We used to discuss about our shoots and all that, and something will come up. it'll be interesting. That interest stuff is not there now. But work-wise, that's how we started. So every time I want to shoot, I want to bring in something more. My photography was more inclined towards beauty photography. So beauty was one thing I really love. I'm a great fan of Anushka Menon's work,
Okay.
Prabhuda's work. So this is how it started. So every time we want to do something interesting, or it has to be a storytelling series.
Correct.
So majorly, the only problem I had initially when I started was I didn't get proper subjects. So I had to shoot with different people, travelers and all that. And then when I built my profile, this was the goal. So commercial wise, there are two differences I saw. See, when it's our personal work, fashion photography is a place where you'll be able to experiment 100%. There's no questions. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Nobody
can
ask you
question
questions.
it.
That is the privilege you have, and that's the space you have.
Correct.
That's not there in a commercial shoot.
Yes.
And the same time, even if you're a very good fashion photographer, your thoughts are brilliant, you're a stereotype breaker, whatever it is, you can't go take that to a commercial client and tell you this is how you have to do.
Correct.
Okay, you have to wear a sari without a blouse for this sari ad. The client is not going to accept.
Correct.
So from my side, when I meet a commercial client, I start somewhere. You have to start somewhere with a little change in their brand because they have their own brand ideology. When I pitch with them itself, I completely know their brand before because I was into marketing sales.
Okay.
So completely I go through the brand. What is something I can add up to the current shoot of them, and that's how I pitch. The only difference between both is here I have complete freedom. There I'll not have the complete freedom, but on the idea side.
But maybe we can pitch it like, can we try this one thing different?
So that's where you start, and once you start there, I think slowly
And usually they accept it, like
mostly they accept it because it should also be genuine. It can't be random. So once you go about how the brand has operated so far, so many years, they have these rules. Like for example, there's one brand, they've never shot with models at all. They only do product shots.
Okay.
So we were the one first who brought in a model shoot for them. They've been there in the industry for like 40 years. And they've never shot with models. Okay, you also will know that brand very well.
Correct.
So we only did that first, but for that we took like I think 3-4 months for just the approval itself. But once that came in, I think we had 2 years contract with them for shooting. So that will change.
Okay.
So that difference is there. Personal work, you have no boundaries.
We have our own
you
freedom.
can experiment.
All right. So earlier you were shooting photo series, right? The Tanirika photo series. So at that time, Instagram was not a thing. So where would you display your works?
Okay, Tanirika was a very special series because I think initially when I started posting, I said you'll have to strike it. So every series I did, I named them. Because not
how do you come up with that idea? Because every name is interesting.
Like Tropical Queen, Queen of Hearts, or Tanirika, everything was a different.
I struggle finding the name.
So that time I wanted to see it's not just photography, it's also how you present it. So there I started coming up with names, and that was actually interesting for people to also work with, because we see fashion photography is more like movie. It's equal to taking a movie because it's just not one person's work, it's a team work.
Correct.
You're going to go towards a goal and align the whole team towards that particular goal. So here, initial times, there were people who worked with me who gave me that space, complete space, because this is what you're going to do, because whatever we tried that time was more new.
Yes.
So names wise we came in, and Tanirika, basically that point in time there were a lot of see, as a photographer you should also be, if you're able to say a message, you should also be able to say it. So we wanted to do that. And when it was about rape victim, or however, there were a lot of photographers who've tried it, but they've not succeeded in it. When you go look into that, they've not succeeded in it. Only reason was the way they portrayed was not right.
Correct.
There was a series in the bus, if you would have seen. So they've not portrayed it right. So the one conscious decision we had was for Tanirika is we want to portray it right. Okay. If you go through the story, you'll understand. So that is something. And next thing is being a photo series, not a video. Each expression has to be captured, every picture. So we actually had a lot of theatre artists. Like Shrita Bhaskar was the model was a Bharatanatyam dancer.
Okay.
She literally cried in that area because she was like, the setup
That's how
itself,
you get the expression. Yeah.
that's how it was. And the people who acted in that, they're all doing movies now. Most of them, like 3 of them are doing movies now. They were also theater artists. So we took almost say 40 days
Okay.
of
40 days.
Yeah, because I had to give them the story completely.
Okay.
And when it's on the set, it's only a 2-3 hours shoot.
Okay.
But behind, they had to go through everything. Even the dialogues, everything was set up. We also did a video out of it. We didn't post the video, but majorly it was a photo shoot. So that's how Tanirka came in. Photo series, again, initial photo series, I wanted to do it in like 20 pictures, 23 pictures and all. Then we came down to 21 pictures and we made it. But the goal was not Instagram or Facebook.
At the time, Instagram was not that.
It was just
Facebook, I guess.
I did the series and I shared it with most of the newspapers or online brands and all that. There were a lot of blogs, all that. But I've also done a lot of series before which I've shared, but that had never taken the thing. This one actually caught their eyes, and then it
came in newspapers.
Yeah, it came in the newspaper. It came in a lot of articles. I think some 20-30 articles it came in, which was interesting. So it was one of a kind project. It was not that I want to do more projects like Tanrika and all. There we wanted to say a message, and it was built for that. That's all.
Super. So I see that you are a very creative person. So how important do you think other genres of photography helps you in fashion photography? Like you do street photography, nature photography also.
For me, fashion photography, I think the most of it I learned from street photography.
Okay.
Like capturing people on the street. Not any other photography style did that, but for me, street completely helped that.
Okay.
And same thing when it comes to styling or when it comes to posing and all that, no, that also happens in the street because I do a lot of portraits. I do a lot of travel, and just to do portraits, I travel, do portraits. Because I think that was something which kept me interested.
Okay.
And even our shoots, when we want to experiment, most of the places I would have gone. Like if you go to Mahabalipuram, I think we've been in every house there. Like when we shoot,
all right,
people over there used to talk to the model for me, like the person for me, and get me them to shoot.
Okay.
So these things would happen there randomly. So close we were. So I think street helped me.
Okay. Fine. So we had a staff in our Kappa. His name is Fagim. I don't know if you know him. So he keeps telling this thing. You only get your soul satisfaction when you do street photography. See, all these fashion and commercial photography are different side, but when you do street photography, it hits you different. But I have not experienced it yet. Maybe I'll try it one day.
100%. I think, see, street, only thing is when you do fashion or wedding, you know the scene. You know what's going to happen.
It is
if it's
kind
a
of
wedding,
planned.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen. In fashion also it's planned, but at the same time I don't I don't tell the model this is the pose. I don't give them a picture pose. I don't do
really?
all that.
Okay.
I don't do that at all because I will be restricting the model.
Correct.
I'll be restricting the whole process. I just tell them the mood. I take a lot of reference from music videos, send them a music video. This is the vibe.
Before even they come to the set, you will send.
Yeah. I'll send them a music video. I have a lot of favorite artists. So from there, one music video, this is the attitude she has to hold. That's all. But on the set, I don't much direct them. Like if something is wrong, I'll direct, but I don't want to do that.
Restrict them.
Once you start doing that, it gets restricted. Then for sure, you'll not be able to get the shot.
Okay.
So the moment they feel they're not able to perform, the next minute you will not get the shot.
Correct. I feel like if you keep constantly telling some correction, their confidence will go down.
Yes, absolutely. Because everybody, I think every model we've worked with, they have their own unique way of expressions.
Correct.
That is something which has to come out.
Correct.
So
same thing, like as you told about street and nature photography, how about wedding photography? Does that also help in fashion photography, or it impacts in a negative way? Brother, I am very scared to touch wedding photography because I feel like if I do wedding photography, that same style will come to me in fashion also. So am I wrong here, or what is your point of view?
No, different people have different opinion.
Yes,
that you are also right.
Okay.
But for me, wedding photography is separate, fashion is separate. So it is a phase. Like from not just photography, from my childhood, I think I've juggled upon different professions.
Okay.
Or 20-25 professions.
Okay.
We've not touched upon that and all.
Right.
But when wedding photography wise, I think the market has a very different lookout now. That is there. But I don't want to compare both. This is separate. This is completely separate. The process we do for fashion photography or the way everything happens is completely different from what we are experiencing. Wedding is more like street uh, with a mixed light.
Something might happen. You have to capture it immediately.
It's like street, but with a mixed light. So
Correct.
you have that situation. So that is there, but it has never been same for me.
Okay, okay. So talking about street photography, so can we talk about the Faces of India part? Like, so we saw that in your profile and we loved it. So where was it all shot and what was the process of it?
So the initial stages started from streets. My learning started from streets,
Okay.
and then when it comes to when it comes to lighting, also I was this person who used Chrome and then used some random light, like a carom board light,
Okay.
and then it can be a operation theater. They use a light. We also rented that and we shot. That's one of the softest light you can get.
Oh,
Because
really?
when they do operation, you
You
can't
can't
have
get the
highlight.
hard light. Okay.
So that's one of the softest light to do beauty shots. So for me, light is light. That's how we do it. So street-wise, when all this started, there was some. When you said it was nice, that gives you a energy. When you get that one click in street,
Correct,
that
correct,
gives you a
correct.
lot of energy. That
That
stopped
gives you a different
happening.
type of high compared to fashion photography.
Yes. That stopped happening when I started fashion, because that side I was getting busier. Fashion
Okay, okay.
photography side I was getting busier. So again, giving back to streets is something I wanted to start with. Faces of India. So Faces of India, the whole concept is I wanted to portray 1,000 faces of India,
Okay, okay.
and there's no timeline. So there was a timeline before. It was like 10 years. That's how it was. So I want to take it slowly, go to different regions, capture this.
Okay.
So I've gone to zero, like Arunachal Pradesh, Kashmir, Sikkim, different areas. But 2019 later, I think after COVID, it all came to a
Okay,
stop.
okay, okay.
So for now, I've done so far 450 images.
Oh,
so I'm waiting
great.
for the 1,000 image, because I still believe in print. I still believe in shows and all
Yes,
that.
yes. We
So I
even
want to
we-
do the 1,000 portraits and then have a show.
Okay, okay.
So that's one reason of Faces of India. So it's still there, but only thing is I've not started traveling on those
Okay,
aspects.
okay,
But
okay.
it's a long project.
But so far, what are all the places you have covered? Like I think
Then
Kashmir.
Kashmir, I think Kashmir, then Sikkim, then Varanasi for like
Super.
7 days.
Varanasi, you can do beautiful.
Varanasi, I did a documentary video as well.
Oh, great.
That is where I first learnt video. So for me, if I want to learn something, you'll have to be. This is the situation, Ramari. So when I went to Varanasi, I didn't want to take pictures
Okay.
the first time.
Okay, okay.
I took a video cam, and then the whole idea was not switching to a photography thing.
Okay.
You have to do a video.
Video.
Otherwise, no footage. Come back, you don't have any content.
All right.
So
So you
that
put
was
yourself in that position.
yeah, then you'll be able to do it.
Correct.
Then I did 4 series there. One was Manikarnika, then Varanasi, then Banaras. So all had different stories in between. I interviewed a lot of people.
Okay.
I did the whole lifestyle there. Then about Agoris, about everything. I did videos. Some are there on YouTube. Some I've still not posted.
Okay, okay.
I was on Holi there.
Oh, super.
So Holi time, that 3 days, it was so much of fun. So Varanasi was one. Sikkim was one.
Correct,
So
correct.
kept traveling,
Okay.
and then we have a lot of nearby India, closer to Chennai. Some regions are there, so we shot some shots there.
Okay,
So mostly portraits of people, and then kids will be there.
all right.
So future and the old India is
Okay,
there.
okay.
Kashmir was a very different experience. See, after holding a camera in hand, no, it's like a passport for you to do anything you want.
Correct, correct.
But you'll have to streamline it in the right way. You can say a message. You can do anything you want. Like, so that helped me. Like, for example, when I went to Kashmir, there was this area called I think Oro Valley. That Oro Valley was there. So the moment I took a cab, I directly went there. The moment I went there, I think the whole street was out. There was one family who was bathing their kid. Everybody was outside. But the moment I went there, everybody went inside.
Okay, okay.
Kashmir is a place they're too afraid of.
Correct, correct, correct.
Half of the families have
The
lost
sensitive
their...
area. I
Yes,
guess.
very sensitive. Everybody went inside. Like the whole street, you'll have a view. Some 30 odd houses, and everybody went inside.
Okay.
It took 2 hours for me to make them come outside.
All right, all right.
I didn't do anything. I just got some chocolates and all. I was playing with the kids and all. The moment they got comfortable with me, they called me to their house, they gave
Super.
me
Then
tea.
you got beautiful photos.
So that lifestyle is there, no? You'll forget about taking a picture there. And at last, no, then you'll be like, okay, I'll take a picture. That's how it will be.
Okay.
So that is something I started loving. So if I say 1,000 portraits, there's a lot of story behind that.
Super. Behind each portrait, you have a
There
story.
is a story.
Super.
And there's a conversation with that person. It's
Correct,
not just
correct.
random, go on
Go
a
and
street,
just
take a
click.
picture.
Correct.
At least talk to them, know them.
Okay, that's why it's taking so long to complete
Absolutely.
it also. Okay. We hope to see all your 1,000 photos.
100%.
Definitely. Please invite me for your exhibition.
For sure, Arjun.
Alright. So can we talk about some analog photography?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how did it all start?
You've tried analog
Yeah, I've
photography?
tried. I have a Hasselblad 500 cm.
Okay.
I have a Pentax also.
Okay.
So yeah.
Nice. So analog photography again. So I started photography. I started doing photography when I saw a lot of. So I am a great fan of Prabhuda Dasgupta.
Oh, super.
So not just photographs, him. Like for me, the art also has to be, and the artist also has to be.
Correct.
So that is something I see in any artist. Let it be a singer or let it be a musician, whoever it is. So Prabhuda took that space. So I wanted to try films. So initial, I know you would have struggled. You learnt it in your institute?
No.
Something like that?
It's
You
out of
learnt
my own interest. So you need to get the basics strong, then you have to experiment. See, we have wasted many film roles. Then slowly only I know that how to take it properly.
Nice. So film there are 2-3 things. When I take somebody to assist, I make sure nowadays I for sure tell them to do film. Because one thing is there is only 36 shots. That too, if you load it wrong, then you don't get the 36 shots.
Yeah.
You can't see anything. Now it's a complete digital world. I see a lot of people doing continuous shots and take one shots from there.
Correct.
These were not there. There were photographers who were very casually taking these pictures, giving a wedding album just with 2-3 films.
There were photographers who were shooting cricket matches in film.
Absolutely. So that will give you a lot of confidence in digital. Film will give you a lot of confidence in digital as well. Yes. Because I think after film, a lot of things changed. But why film abdina? See, this is something I wanted to do. Fashion photography is what something I wanted to do. Wanted to be a photographer for life.
Okay.
I'll have to know everything about it.
Correct.
You can't take it for granted.
Correct.
Tomorrow if somebody comes and do you know film na?
Exactly.
So that was one intention I started. But when I started, it gave me a lot of interest because the first film I shot, I went and gave it to somebody from Elise Road and it was not properly developed.
Okay.
It had too many scratches.
All right.
So that made me start developing. So I had another friend. So I asked him how to develop. He's an old timer. His father had a thing. So
Who's it?
Suresh. He's another friend.
Okay.
Who knows about film and all. He knows to develop, but he doesn't have the touch. He used to do it when he was a kid.
I think in Chennai, this Karthik Torali does that.
Karthik Torali does. Karthik is a friend. Karthik Torali is a friend. அவங்க எல்லாரையும் meet பண்ணிட்டேன்.
Okay.
Whoever you talk about film, I've met everybody.
Okay.
Karthik Torali was the one who gave me the first film. He said, you shoot, then you try. Then if you love it, then continue was the one. So that's how we started. And then once it came in, I started knowing, okay, this is not the way. If I have to know this, I'll have to know what all I can do with film. So I'll have to learn everything. So started experimenting. Same thing. Fashion பண்ணது
Okay.
So நான் கொஞ்சம் டிஃப்ரெண்ட்டாக டெவலப் பண்ணுவேன். I have songs for this film, this song. Develop, fixer. Because you have timeline and all. That's how you work on a film.
Okay.
But I had a song because I know, okay, if this song is over, the next song, I have a playlist.
All right.
Next song comes, I go to the fixing. If I do a little earlier, this will happen. So it was all experiment.
Correct.
Even now
so
I
each song will give you a different output, right?
Absolutely. And the same thing, the feel of it. You're in a dark room. You're just holding a film. The feel of it will actually work.
Yes.
So it was actually more interesting and more of creative process into it. We started doing cut films. Then 120mm, like with the Pentax, I started shooting.
Okay.
Then whatever fashion shoot I did, I used to plan and do 2-3 analog shots.
Okay. Even I'm doing that only.
Yeah. So that is something which will help you because you'll be able to handle the same situation with film. The moment you start doing it, then it's easy for you to take it forward. So that is something. Then we had a space called Irritare where we started developing for people or teaching.
Okay.
So even if somebody wants to develop, they can come to our place, develop. We'll be able to assist them, teach them. Sorry. So that was one thing we did. So film is obedience. அந்த மாதிரி தான் நான் film That's
Correct,
how I
correct,
saw
correct,
film
correct.
as. So it was a long process, but it was interesting.
Okay. Do you think about shooting a commercial in film?
Can again see if it's a personal project, it's okay. But
Okay.
for a client side, uh, we need a client like that.
Correct, correct.
So for them to educate, they're just going to come back and ask, I'm looking at a 100 megapixel camera doing this, that, why do you want a film?
Correct,
But
correct.
there is also a lot of things in film. For example, when you're talking about digital, the changes you can do for an overexposed shot or an underexposed shot is +3, +4. In film, you'll be able to do +6, +6.
Correct.
You can go that much. That much dynamic range is there. So
And if you take it in a medium format camera, it is more have
Absolutely.
more resolution than your full frame cameras.
Absolutely. Can't make people understand that, but slowly I think somewhere it will help us.
So
learn
there are
all
in
this.
North India there are some clients who are accepting to take films, but these are morely designers, not the brands.
Yeah.
But designers who are willing to experiment will allow the photographer to experiment also, and they are shooting in film also. So hope that comes to here also.
It should come. The only thing is, initially photographs here were taken for banners, for magazines, and now it's all taken for Instagram.
social media,
So
yeah.
that difference is there.
Correct.
So
correct,
now
correct.
an image is an image. They don't want to know which camera they've shot and all, because anything you can do. It's for
Okay,
Instagram.
okay.
That's how it is. But client wise, I think it will come up for
Okay.
sure.
Do you think people who are starting out should try film at least once so that
100%. That will give them the clarity of their work. Because digital, I think you can shoot anything. If you don't like, delete it,
and
do another shot or do a continuous shot, do anything.
Okay.
But here, you'll have to analyze every situation and then shoot it.
Correct. I had this one small thing, brother. I have to touch both the ends of photography. I have to do digital photography. I want to do analog photography also. I also want to do something in rendering space also, so that I'm in photography space. I am touching all the spaces, the future, past, and the present.
Yeah.
So this is one small thing of me. So as a photographer, what do you expect from a model, brother?
Model wise, initial stages, once I had a portfolio, I had like 10, 15 good shoots, decent shoots where I can reach or talk to models. I started planning. So Chennai is not a place which is completely organized. For example, we don't have model agencies. Now there are one or two coming up, but we completely don't have a model agency where you go ask for a model. Like if I'm going to do a tribal shoot, I need a model. Abdina, you'll not get options.
Correct.
Like you'll have to go find. So for me, I first find the model. It can be a model, or it can be somebody who looks like the subject.
Okay.
The subject looks
For the
apt for
particular
my
concept that you have.
So I figure out, I approach them. And that's where it starts. So there are a lot of people initially who have worked, they are freshers. And slowly to come to people who have good experience in modeling is later. So from then till now, one thing I expect from a model is to experiment. That is one thing. And when they come as a plain sheet. They should not have any pre-planned, because here it's all about the concept and it's not about me or what I think or what they think. So that is the only thing, and I think most of them are like that here. It's changed. Chennai has changed a lot, because initially we used to compare ourselves with just 300 kilometers away. There is a lot of street fashion in Bangalore. Chennai has not got fashion. But I think Chennai has changed a lot last 5-6 years.
Correct. Now we have more technically strong people in Chennai than
100%. Even people from here, even a lot of people a lot of people from here go to Bangalore and shoot. So it's changed now. So that change is good. And model wise, I think it's only according to the concept and theme and the mood is what they'll have to do.
Okay. They have to understand the concept of the photographer, and accordingly they have to.
It's a team. It's a complete teamwork. Let it be the model, let it be the makeup artist, the stylist. They all have to be in sync. If that happens, then that shoot
the output
is a hit. That's all.
Yeah. So when a photographer begins, so how should they approach a model when they have no budget or very less budget? So initially I started in Kappa. So at that time it was really difficult to approach models because we are having very less budget. So how should we put it out to the models?
I get this question a lot, even when I do workshops and all that. First question which comes in from the college and students or anybody who starts. So I was also on the other side. Like when I started, I used to just send messages. I want to shoot, or I'm looking for a model. Would you be interested? But that never gave me replies. So then I stopped doing it. I started doing something else, which is if I like one particular person, say this is a model, say the model's name is A.
Okay.
go through their complete profile, know which type of hairstyles they've done, which type of hairstyles they've not done. Once you see a model's profile, you'll know what they're trying to do.
Okay.
There may be a lot of people who have tried a lot of sari shots and they would want to try something more Western.
Okay. Okay.
So I will come up with a very westernized idea, seeing their profile or whatever thought process they have, analyzing that. I'll come up with a mood board for them and I'll make sure I get them.
Okay.
So when I approach them, it'll be everything will be planned for them. I don't think anybody will say no. That was more easy for me because I used to send a mood board completely with their suggestions and I will just put a message saying that I just thought it'll be perfect if you are there for this shoot.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
all.
This mood board is tailored to you. So
Tailored to her.
Okay.
So if you put that time, I think any model will say okay. It can't be random because random also we also don't want. You want either to model to be perfect for your concept, or she's a big model, she'll be able to give better posing or better output. That's the reason.
Correct.
So everything has to be tailored. In that approach, I think 99 out of 100 clicks will be there.
Yeah. So when a project comes to you, you have your own reason to accept it or deny it. Okay. But what do you do when it's a collaboration shoot?
I don't do collaborations.
Okay, really?
So that okay. Initially, any photographer. This is a very this is again most asked questions.
Okay.
So
should we do or should we not do collaboration shoot?
You should do collaboration.
Okay.
But that collaboration is different. Everybody started misunderstand.
Okay.
It is completely misunderstood by the industry. So when we used to collaborate, we used to collaborate for art. Okay. Like we are trying to create something, and this is something which might be accepted by people. Like I have done one with Lemuel. He's an androgen model. We tried completely different hairstyle. I specifically spoke to him for like 2 hours to know what is his drag queen thought.
Okay.
So each and every outfit of his was tailored for him. We had Anwar do it. We had Vijay Sharath for the makeup. Everything happened. It was tailored for him. We stitched because every androgen will have a drag queen thought in their head. And the what drag queen, what type of colors that drag queen, everything was figured out and done. So these type of shoots, when you do experiments, you doing a collab is okay because nobody knows if it's a hit, it's a drop. You don't know.
Okay.
But nowadays, I think each collabs come from bigger brands.
Right.
Which is not acceptable.
Correct.
Because tomorrow, as a photographer, as a stylist, as a makeup artist, we're all relying on these brands. And today, if you start doing collabs, and I don't think there's a future for us in that.
Correct.
So collaboration can be done on
artistic basis.
Artistic basis can be done.
Okay.
It can't be done on the commercial basis. So I think initial times, even when I needed a portfolio, we did these type of collabs for beauty shots. Mostly beauty shots because there you don't have much requirement of outfits or it's only based on makeup, and makeup artists, we want them to try. That's how it will be. So that's how.
So the takeaway here is, if the brand is trying to make money off you, but just stay away, or just say that it is a
because that is your future as well. Because any brand who's calling for a collab today is your client tomorrow. So today, if you work for free, you are losing a client tomorrow.
Okay. So but what if people think that I'm losing my work?
No, that's how it will be initially. That's how they want you to feel.
Okay.
That's why we are feeling that. But that's not the actual thing. Case. So there is one more type you can do. I have actually got an order from a client in a different way. Same thing. The client asked me for collab and all that. I said, I will do a collab, but I will do it in a different way. Give me 2 sarees from your side. I will plan the shoot. I'll give you the shoot output. Then if you like, give me an order. So I had the client not involved in my shoot at all.
Correct.
I had 2 sarees. I had a different draping style in my mind.
So I'll have the full creative control.
Yes. I'll have my control.
Okay.
So I took 2 sarees. I did a very different drape style, which they have not tried. And it was good. And then I got their order as well. I did 2 continuous shoots for them. But that worked better. I would suggest people doing that. Because if it's you at least you'll be happy about doing it because it's your project.
Correct.
If you do it for somebody else, because today I think one more thing is let it be makeup artist, let it be stylist. Now everybody comes with a different agenda.
Correct.
That is a lot of reason I see a lot of shoots like it's all similar. It doesn't make sense because everybody comes with a different agenda. It's a teamwork and everybody has to.
As you said earlier, it should all go in sync.
If it doesn't go in sync, then I think the whole shoot goes for a toss. So
all right. So do you think a photographer should stay loyal to a particular brand?
Is it only you're talking about brands or equipment wise?
I'm also asking you about equipment wise.
Equipment wise, it's different.
Okay.
Equipment wise, initially I started with the 550D,
Okay.
and then I had a 70D.
Hmm.
So everything was Canon.
Canon. Then
Then
you Nikon.
then I shifted to Nikon.
Yeah.
For the only reason I didn't have a camera at that time. I sold
Okay.
my 70D because I had a plan of
70D
travel.
was crop sensor, right?
Crop sensor.
Okay.
So I wanted a travel plan, so I sold off my camera. I didn't have a camera then.
Okay.
Then I wanted to get a professional camera, but before that I wanted to try. So I started trying with other brands. And the other brands, some cameras were very small, which didn't fit me for my look.
Okay.
People were like, are you bringing a digital camera and shooting?
Alright.
Do you have a professional camera with you? That's how, because for my size, I think it's not just the camera or whatever settings it has. It's not about its dynamic range.
Correct.
My hold, my grip, every comfort matters, because I'm a person who shoots with Phase 1 Mamiya without tripod. Okay, I don't like tripods. Okay, because it kills my comfort.
Okay, I'm the opposite.
I don't like tripods.
Okay.
Only reason you will not be able to flex yourself or move. That's the only thing. I like keep moving,
On the shoot.
doing the shoots. So that's the only thing. I'll have a longest cable, but even if it's a Phase 1 Mamiya, they'll be like insisting me not to
put it
do,
in the
but
tripod.
I'm like comfortable with that.
Okay.
And it'll be sharp. So no worries. So camera wise, that happened. So after 70D itself, I started renting out cameras. So that happened, and then Sigma came in. Sigma supported well on the lenses and all. They used to completely support me. I was the brand ambassador for them. And then I was using Nikon for some time. Then for some time Fuji. And then for Phase 1. When it goes commercial. Because I think photographer, you have different requirements. When you go for banners, hoardings and all, no? You go for a medium format.
Correct.
And again, you come back. You can't be very brand conscious. But some places I'm still stuck with. For example, Sigma. I'm very stuck with Sigma because I love their lenses.
All right.
So Sigma is there. Same thing with Nikon 850D. Particular model I can say. I can't say the complete product wise.
Okay.
850 is one of my favorite Nikon.
You're still shooting with 850?
850.
Oh, super.
So that is my favorite cam. That sticks with one particular
lens. 850
lens.
is what, 7-8 years old or?
7.5, 8 years old.
Okay, but see, this is the one thing. It's not the gear; it is the photographer behind it.
It's the photographer one point of time.
Okay.
And your comfort. It's just not the gear. See, gear also will change. Okay, when you use a pro photo, it will change. When you use an electron, it will change. But your thought process is the same.
Yes.
So very slight difference. The quality of light might change, and the accuracy might change. When you go for a more branded one, the accuracy is perfect.
Yeah. I think the more premium brands will help you achieve the result in an efficient way.
Yes.
Apart from that, the creativity is all the same. You can achieve that with the same basic light also.
So that's when we started using different type of lights. Like before Pro Photo, I think a lot of lighting. I have a different set of lightings, which is not brands and all, random lights, but we use those lights and shoot as well. So that's how it was.
Okay. So then how was your experience working with Sigma, and you conducted a workshop also? So how was it?
So teaching is something I like. So I am a brand ambassador for Nikon and Sigma.
Super.
Sorry. So I'm a brand ambassador for Nikon and Sigma. So Sigma was a great support because I think that was the time I needed a lot of support from a brand to experiment with lenses. See, you can't keep buying every lens. You can't keep doing everything. But they were a great support. So not just equipments, but also moral support. They were very much there.
How did they come in contact with you?
Suresh contacted me, one of their senior head. He contacted me. They called.
Okay.
Then they just told me, they just saw all my pictures. And before them calling me, I used to use Sigma 35. So 35 was one of my favorite. That was an art lens which came in that time.
Okay.
So I started using that, and then they called me. They said, this is what it is. We've seen your picture. I said, I have taken this with Sigma art only. So that's how it came in. Same thing with Nikon. I haven't approached any brand because I'm not sticking to any brand. So I have not approached them. Only after Sigma came in, before that I was using 35, and then I got to use a lot of other lenses. Now I have my hand-picked 2-3 lenses which I regularly use.
Then how was your teaching experience?
I love teaching.
Okay.
So one thing is self-taught photographer. So each and everything was experimented, and then only I itself came to know. So for me, when I go to teaching,
You'll have the depth knowledge about
depth knowledge, and for them the theory is strong, but when it comes to experiment and market
Practical.
experience, no, that is something we'll need to help them with.
Correct.
So photography wise, one thing anybody who comes in, I'll tell them is basics has to be strong.
Yes.
That you can't say you don't know. After basics, forget about your framing, like rule of third அப்படிலாம் சொல்லாதீங்க. Because there are like 55 different types of frames you can go to. Don't go to all that. Start experimenting, and one day if somebody comes and sees, then every shot will be there. Because that's how we started. It's not that you want to do this particular shot, this is the frame I wanted. It's not planned. It goes in a flow and then it's there.
Correct.
So teaching wise, it gives a different depth for me. So we do complete fashion photography courses. I've done it in Etraj, MOP.
Super.
So
are you planning any workshop anytime soon?
I was doing a lot of workshops. So at least 3-4 months once was doing a workshop. Now I do a lot of one-on-one workshops.
Oh, great. So how important do you think having an assistant in photography?
Very important.
Okay.
So I normally have 1 or 2 assistants.
Okay. So they stay with you
throughout the shoot.
Okay. Not throughout the shoot. Like, are they full time or like?
They are full time, but I make sure I send them off 1 year later.
Okay. Why so?
No, that's how I wasn't an assistant also. If I'm going to put somebody as an assistant for the rest of the next 4 years, 5 years, it's like me telling them you can't grow.
All right.
I was not assisting anybody. If you need to learn,
that's a great mentality actually.
That's how it has to be, because that's what I wanted from somebody. So I should be able to give that to somebody.
Correct.
So my mentality is my assistants has to stay with me minimum 6 months. That is, if you come for 1 month, 2 months, you're not going to learn anything.
Correct.
Because it's not even about lighting or it's not even about what equipment you use. It's how you handle a client. It's how you set up a shoot, how you plan a shoot. There is a situation and what is your plan A, plan B, how you plan. There are a lot of other things we do in photography. You know it.
Correct.
So to learn this, anybody is going to take at least say 6 months to 1 year. There are some people who stayed with me for 1.5 years, but one point I pushed them. I said, you have to start. So I think most of my assistants have started.
Correct.
Like 12-15 people are already shooting.
Yes, I know.
So that's
many of your assistants are becoming a great photographer.
They've been doing, a lot of people are there. So Dakshin is there, Payani is there.
Yes.
Most of them are shooting. So that's the only reason I make sure for 6 months, 1 year I send them. And for me, there is one plus in this. I also get a fresh start when I see a new person.
Okay.
So there's no, I get a different, so assistant Puerto Rico, it is not a person who comes here to help you keep the light. No, that is not the requirement of an assistant. It's completely going, I want an assistant more energetic. Even if I come down, my assistant gives me that support. So that's how it will be. That's how it will slowly build. It's a very interesting relationship. It's your idea. You're going to believe and put it to somebody else and closely, like same like an assistant director.
Correct.
So that is a very responsible role. So anybody who stays for 6 months or 1 year, I think they can fly it with themselves.
All right. So having our own assistants is one thing, but having an assistant who's helping lot other people like Saravanan who passed away is important. So what do you think about that?
Saravanan Anna, that's how I call him always.
Even we call. See, he helped me to start into photography. I have to be very grateful to him. So initially, I don't even know what lighting is. He used to set up all the lightings in iStills.
Not just you. I think a lot of photographers we used to discuss, because I think
that's why it's a very great loss when it happened.
I think a lot of people quit photography after Saravanan.
Okay.
I'm saying.
Okay.
So see, Saravanan is a person, he's not even a studio assistant. You can't take him as a studio assistant. We've done a lot of shoots together. I think I would have done at least say over 100 shoots with him. Okay. Like we were all living in iStills at that point in time. So it can be a 12-hour shoot. It can be a 16-hour shoot. I've never seen him tired.
Yes. Exactly.
First thing. Next, he's a person who will not even think that way. Even if you're stuck somewhere, he'll come back. This is something I'll be thinking I can change the background color. I've thought about some other color. I want to change it. I'll be like thinking if I have to come tell him, he's going to...
He can feel bad, but he will do it actually.
He'll be like, Anna, I'll change.
Okay.
So that's how it was, and very true to whatever he does. In fact, Prabhakaran sir is different. It was like Saravanan who owns the place.
Correct.
He's worked with every photographer. Let it be me, let it be Makka, let it be VS, let it be Venkatram. Every photographer
in Chennai.
Everybody who's come to the studio, he knows. So he makes sure he transfers that to newcomers who come into
exactly.
photography. That is a beautiful stuff, because literally he does a workshop. So whoever comes inside
So one time
new,
he asked me like, do you want a lighting setup like Venkatram's there?
he'll be like that. That's how he is. So whatever he learned, he'll not just be an assistant. He'll learn and he'll make sure he transfers that to the other newcomers. So he'll see if somebody is struggling, he'll do that. Even not with photographers, even models.
Oh, okay.
He'll say, you can do this, sister. You can do that.
Okay, fine,
That's how he is.
All right.
So
It's a great loss for photography community.
We miss him. We miss him badly.
We miss him badly.
After that, I don't think nobody will go to iStills. That's why even iStills,
It's closed.
They closed it completely.
Okay, fine. So you started your photography journey with the name Black Pearl Photography. Do you think this branding has become irrelevant now? Because people now want to say that Ganesh Toasty is doing my shoot, as opposed to saying that Black Pearl Photography is doing my shoot.
No, initially, when I started, I wanted a name. So I'm a bulleteer.
Okay.
So my bike's name is Black Pearl.
Okay.
So everybody calls me Black Pearl, because when we go to rides and all, my name is Black Pearl only. They call me Black Pearl. So that was the only reason when I started, I didn't want it to keep it as Ganesh, because there are a lot of Ganeshes. Something unique has to be there. So Black Pearl. I'm a Pirate of Caribbean fan.
Okay.
So that was there. So Black Pearl irundhathu. Black Pearl later, the Toasty came in. The Toasty was one of my sandwich shops.
Okay.
That's all. Okay. It was nothing to do with my name and all that.
Okay.
My name is Ganesh Vetrivel.
Okay.
So Toasty was a sandwich shop. That time we had Facebook. Okay. So Facebook I wanted to change for promoting Toasty, the sandwich shop. I wanted to keep it as Ganesh Toasty. So one change I did.
Okay.
But then Facebook said you can't change it for the next 6 months, because the second change is done.
Okay.
By the time the next 6 months was my peak time. So everybody started calling me GT.
Okay.
So that's how Toasty came in.
Okay.
So even now, whoever I meet, they'll be like Ganesh Toasty.
All the makeup artists know Ganesh Toasty.
So that's how it comes. So brand, okay, for your question, I wanted, whatever I do, it again came back to me. Brand, people never got connected with Black Pearl Photography. It again came to me. It was again Ganesh.
They want to know the person behind the brand.
it. So I also wanted to put an end. See, each and everything, you start doing it and then you start correcting it as well. So andamari or correction now from Black Pearl to Ganesh Toasty.
Okay. Even Karthik Srinivasan sir had Hungry Tiger Photography. Then Karthik Srinivasan.
Yeah.
That's how people know. But there are certain people, 1 or 2 people. Do you know this House of Pixels? They are from Mumbai. They are known by the brand name. 2-3 people do photography in that. So that's why the
So
brand
now
name.
if you have a brand name and work, it means that there are 2-3 people involved. That's how it is. So if you have a single name, this is the person.
That's the person.
So that difference is there.
Okay. So do you have any other hobbies outside photography which helps you in photography? I see you sing, you dance, you do.
So yeah, there are a lot of hobbies I have, but photography wise, one thing which helps me is my street photography.
Okay.
I still keep doing it. And apart from that, music videos, the lighting there. For me, I'm very comfortable. Let it be indoor, let it be outdoor, let it be mixed lighting. I'm very comfortable with whatever light it is. So that is because I think most of my reference, I don't look into photographers for reference. I think it was in the earlier times. And that time, the moment I started liking Prabuddha, I think I was just fixed with him. I didn't look at anybody because you get to... I see a lot of photographers seeing a lot of references, that will actually contaminate our thought process. You would have seen some 10 different references. And tomorrow, when you go to a shoot, you'll only remember about those poses and all that. So that is something I wanted to cut. So it all transferred to music videos and all that. So hobbies wise, COVID time was very interesting. So COVID time, couldn't do anything. My problem is from childhood, my handwriting itself will be worse. It will be like doctor's handwriting only. So doing painting or any type of artwork in that is very difficult. So COVID, I think 2 years. And the first 1 year, I decided, I had a huge office, 3,200 square foot office. Nobody is going to come. Office and home is one kilometer away.
Okay.
In between, there's one place called Starbucks. Art supply is open.
Okay.
Nothing else is there. So I made myself that. I did, I think, 45 paintings. I sent it to all the artists in Chennai. So I sent one to Ashwin Tyagarajan, one to Suresh.
Okay. So you drew and sent it to the...
That was my first try. So every painting actually has 4 or 5 paintings behind because I used to repaint, do it. That was the first time. So on the Mari, I keep changing. If I have to learn something, okay, I'll take the time. Next 2 months, I'll learn this.
Okay.
That's how I learned videography, or let it be drone. Put a full stop, learn. And the Mari, it keeps changing. But music and travel keeps me alive.
So what is the one photography trend that you wish it goes away?
Initially, initially in 5 years before, every photographer or any artist, we plan one or particular concept and you give life to that concept to bring in, and as I told, it's more like a movie. So the concept comes in, and the value of that concept, the next moment, next week or next month you go somewhere or in a meeting or a crowd, people will be like, I saw this series of you. This was nice. This was not nice. Whatever it is, they would that was there. But nowadays the value of every image has come down. It's been seconds.
Correct.
People forget.
Just scroll it up.
So a lot of work has been put behind, but people just scroll, forget. I think it stays for 1 or 2 days max.
Correct.
So that is something which I think
we should go.
That time.
Do you think that's why the people are not doing calendar shoots a lot?
That's the problem. So calendar shoots, and people are not doing shows. Print is not happening much because people are more comfortable on Instagram. So much content. So that is there.
So in that way, everything is becoming so fast. If you find something flawed also, you don't even correct it. You just post it and you're getting done with it.
That's how it is. There is a lot of, initially there was some industrial standard we were all sticking to. Now no edit has become one type of a standard. Yes. Complete edit, like 100-200% edit is also a standard.
Okay.
So there are some ethics and some things we stick into. For example, my pictures, I don't change backdrops. I never change backdrops. It has to be shot. Like it has to be a set.
Okay,
I don't change backgrounds. Editing level, nothing I do. My editing is only skin. Okay, skin, and that too. Personally, if you ask me, if they have some mole and all, I wouldn't want to take it. My
that is their identity.
Shoot, I don't do it. That's their identity. I won't do it in my personal shoot, but commercial shoot we'll have to. That is different.
Okay.
But major is that.
All right. So we have some photos of yours. Like we would like to know the thought process behind those photos. So can you please tell us what's the thought process?
Okay. So I told you, so every time I wanted to shoot something striking.
Okay.
But sometimes this look can also click, or it can't work out sometimes.
Okay.
So every shoot, I have a plan A, plan B. So most of my shoots, if you see, there is one side, like one evil side, one angel side. And the oru concept. For example, the first shoot I did with Kripali, I think I did a beauty shot. The other side, we played with a lot of powder and all.
I think I have that photo.
You'll have that.
Okay.
For sure. So every shoot, that's how my plan is.
Okay.
One is plan A, plan B. If everything works out, both the shoot works out as a hit, or one works out and the other has complete experiment. So this is the second shot. This is the plan B. So plan A is actually a green background. We had so this was a beauty shot planned. So all that we wanted to do is she is from Mahabalipuram. So we had to go, me, makeup artist, stylist. We all went to Mahabalipuram. We don't know the shoot plan at all.
Okay.
So we went there. I used to have a printed book of mine. Like whatever pictures I've done, every 2 years once I used to print a book, have it with me.
Okay.
So I met a person there. She's not a model.
Okay.
So I gave her the book. I told I'm so-and-so.
Okay.
So
that's a good habit, right? To have a book.
100%. That actually has helped me in a lot of places. So give them my book, my work, and I would like to shoot you. And that particular model said, okay. We had to pay her some amount. We were okay. Then the same day, we brought her back. So brought her to Chennai for a studio, booked a studio. Abde ellarum makeup artist ella senda kalambi vandachu.
Okay.
So we came, and so normally what we do is we have 5-6 mood boards already created. Normally before me planning to shoot, I planned 5-6 mood boards, because one thing which you don't get in Chennai is you don't get the app model. Only when you get the app model, you'll be able to fix it.
Utilize the
you just have to match the following. That's how it has to be. So 5 different concepts will be there. So beauty shot is one thing. So in this we would have done with color papers. like gel papers. No?
Okay.
Gel papers வச்சு தான் ஒரு கான்செப்ட்.
Okay.
ஸோ அந்த கான்செப்ட் ஷார்ட்டை முடிச்சிட்டோம். இட்ஸ் அ பியூட்டி ஷார்ட். இட்ஸ் அ க்ரீன் ஒரு க்ரீன் பேலட்லேயே we worked on green only. The whole palette was there. And I don't believe this also. It has to be complete contrast. This is this color. Like you go here, you have to completely change the color. No, most of my shots have been on red, blue on blue, green on green. It's been like that as well. So we did this shot. The shot got over a little earlier. Then we wanted to do a negative. Like negative wanted to do something like a negative itself. So this was called intramural.
The film negative.
Film negative. And then if you see the other side, it's like X-ray negative. So we wanted to do that line. So that was the idea behind this. This was more like an X-ray. So on the negative abbe concept maati that type. So same color, everything is there. But we wanted to do a X-ray version of it.
All right.
So that's how this came up.
Super. So this one was shot in film. Okay.
120
what film?
Pentax.
Okay. What film stock you use?
Portra.
Okay.
So even now I have like, even if you want
I have it in the fridge.
Fridge full of Portra. I even have 100 TX. So last
you have some rare films also, I guess. I just have Portra. I think that's it.
Fomopan.
Okay.
100 TX is there. 100 TX, the last batch I have before they closed down the last production. We got some 3 batches we got. I still have that.
Okay. So we can't get it anymore?
You can't get it anymore.
Even if you travel abroad also?
You don't get it.
Oh, okay.
So that batch
I think I have one stock remaining, 120. Okay.
So I even store it even now. So this was film. Again, we did a different shoot with her and then wanted to experiment on film. I even like Tarun Kiwal a lot because Tarun Kiwal is again...
He's my favorite.
I know. So Tarun Kiwal is Prabhudas' assist.
Okay. So Prabhudas' assist.
Prabhudas' assist is Tarun Kiwal.
Okay.
He was the first assistant on the Mari.
Okay.
So he used to do films.
Yes.
So there was one instant I know where Tarun Kiwal, the client asked, he shot something on film. And then the client asked if you could do something more creative. Then later he just scratched the film in the corners. And that was one shot of him.
Okay.
It would be, it actually was a hit campaign.
Okay.
So something like that was there. So the whole aspect of how they approach it, I like it. So film wise, we shot this on film. We want to experiment on the colors. So that's how.
Okay. What camera was it?
It was Pentax.
All right.
6x7.
All right. 6x7.
6x7.
Okay. The Kripali shoot.
So the Kripali shoot. So this was, we wanted to do 2 versions. So in the 40 shoots na initially sonnala experiment.
Okay.
Adula panna some of the stuff which I did it there was here.
Oh really? Okay.
So most of my experiment shoots I've done like whatever like a rain shot or whatever, all that I've practiced. So if I needed to do it in some shot, I used to plan it that way. So Kripali shot, same thing.
Okay.
One was angel, one was evil. So the evil side, I wanted to bring in another stereotype or break a stereotype and shoot. So for most of the shoots, it was plan A, plan B, and that's how it started. So Kripali shoot, it started as a beauty shot. I still love that shot. I think that was one of the first few shoots of Kripali.
Yeah, I saw that shot. The hair will be...
The green background
yes,
shot.
Yes.
So that shot we did, and then we were like, we want to do one more experiment, and then we started. But mostly, most of the experiments are live. Although we have a plan, we'll have a subtle, like for the style of the hairstyle and the look wise, all that we'll have a plan. But shot wise and all that will be planned on the spot.
On the spot only. Okay.
It's mostly on the spot.
Okay.
So...
how is Kripali in person? She's a very experimental person, I guess.
She's a very experimental person, and when I met her, she wasn't that experimental because she was new.
Okay.
Like the green shot you saw, she didn't want me to post it. The day I posted, the next day we deleted it off.
Okay.
Because she was not fully into photography, and she just called me as a friend. She called me and she said, "No, my uncle would see it. I don't want my uncle to see online and all." And now you know where Kripali is.
Yeah, I know.
So later she was like, she called me once and she said, "Please post it now."
All right.
I'm full time into modeling.
Okay.
So that worry was there because that time I think she was doing college. She was not full time into photography, but we did a lot of experiment. We did like 3-4 shoots.
Okay.
So I posted and then I took over, and then I think 2 weeks later she got a lot of good support about the picture, and then we posted it back. Because for me, when I do nudes, I do a lot of nudes as well. But on the nudes, for me, it has to be more artistic. And that is where your challenge is.
You have to bring the artistic
Glamorous
side.
is easy, But doing it artistic is very difficult, and that is something I think most of my nudes carry.
Okay.
It doesn't look yeah,
It doesn't look odd.
hot. Yeah.
Okay. So and this is a proper cover type
Yeah.
shoot.
This was way back, I think
Okay.
2013 14 அந்த மாதிரி 15 குள்ள இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
Mm.
So this was a tribal. So mostly when I so street when I started doing street and all that, no, you like the tribal version. Normally you want to do shoot a tribe. That will be one portrait அப்படின்னு வந்தாலே you want to go meet a tribe and shoot, because they have different facial features, their accessories are very
Different.
defined and different, right? So that's one thing which I wanted to bring into fashion. So then we tried those type of tribal makeup. So every makeup has, so when you talk about depression, there are 32 different types of depression. We all talk about just depression. So these 32 depressions have different expressions. So that's how we play with shoots as well.
Okay.
Same thing, every tribe has different pointers, different type of styling them.
Correct.
So these are some things we'll keep learning when we do all this background work, like creating a mood board and all that. Once that fits in, I think anytime you'll be able to build up a concept, suddenly shoot and all that, pull one from your old books and start.
Correct. So how do you know this depression 32 types of?
That
Because
was for a shoot.
Okay.
We planned for a shoot.
Okay.
So then we do that research and then we come back with
You
that.
are in contact with a lot of theater artists, so
Theater artist. I do a lot of research. Whatever I do, any shot or any mood I do, we work on it. I don't put that effort now.
okay.
Because only when it comes to my personal shoot, I put that effort. But because for the character and all that. But initially, it was more of, I used to work with new models as well. So for them, for briefing with them, all that, no, I would need more content. So
Correct.
and I was also new. For me, that knowledge is more important. So any concept we do, anything we do, okay, do that extra research and keep it so that later it will be useful.
Okay.
So appadi it was a tribal shoot. So the first tribal shoot, I actually did a mistake. I did it with mehendi,
Okay.
but I did a mistake.
Okay.
That is, I wanted to do tribal. Everything was beautiful. That was the first shoot tribal I did it. I did it with Mehendi Jash. And we liked it. Both of us liked it. But for me, later, I think 1-2 years later, I didn't like it for the only reason I chose a very fair model. I wanted the dusky feeling, and that would be better. Because normally when you see a tribe or something, you don't see them too fair and all, right?
Correct.
So that was one mistake that both of us realized. I was also telling Mehendi once, all the look, everything was nice, makeup, everything was nice. That alone I think I missed. So later I did this. So I wanted Mahalashmi is the model.
All right.
So I called her and I think I've done 2-3 tribal series. Somewhere I have that thing.
Super. And this one, the water splash.
Yeah. This was another experiment. We did it in the terrace, black background, terrace.
Okay.
This was in Dakshin's house. Dakshin's house terrace is where we did it. Here again, same thing. We wanted to experiment, but again, when you want to experiment with water and all, no, you can't have restriction. So we chose terrace.
Correct.
So
You can't be doing this in studio.
Yeah, you can't do it in studio. You can't do it in any other setup. You'll need a setup, terrace na. At the same time, you can't do it in the morning. You'll have to do it in the night. So it was a whole night shoot. But we were able to achieve what we want because we didn't have that limitation. When it comes to water and all, no, you don't need that limitation. But again, it was more for a sporty look is what we wanted.
Correct.
Then I think the styling.
So how was the model cooperative? Because you are throwing water at her.
See, we will choose, whenever we choose something like this, we also make sure we choose the right model for it.
Correct.
If I'm going to take a very established model for this, try all this with her, I don't think she'll have the patience.
Correct.
When I'm learning, I'll need to have somebody who's also learning so that will be there. So we shot this with Teja. She's a well-known model now, but that time she's a nice friend. See, mostly what happened was one point in time, people came to me for one thing, that is the normal shoots I do. You are a person who experiment. I want to be in one of your experiments.
If I come to Ganesh, it will be experimental
shoot. So that actually came up. So that was interesting. So whenever they come to me, they don't come to me for a normal shoot. They ask me, what experiment do you think you can do with me? Then I'll come plan a mood board. That's how we build it.
Perfect. Yeah. And this one?
This one is with Suresh Menon, Preeti. Both are my favorites.
Okay.
So this one again, see, floral, we've tried a lot of floral. See, there are some ideas we do when it comes to floral, tribal. There are some themes we
Correct,
play
correct.
around with, bohemian style. That's where fashion came. That's where patterns came from. So this was one such. And the same way, when it comes to Preeti, I like her skin tone. So we wanted to do a beauty shot with her skin tone. So that was the major reason.
That is the contrast, right?
Yeah, that is the contrast we want to play with. And majorly here, the whole colors, we wanted that pop only on her head, the gear alone. Apart from that, everything was green. So this was, I think we did the shoot in some 30 minutes time frame overall. So makeup was done in Suresh's place. He directly got the model and we shot.
Okay.
This was again the plan A, plan B. Plan A was one more, plan B was there.
Okay.
So we did most of my concept shoots, it has two ideas so that I work on both.
All right. And this is one of the flagship work, I guess.
This was for a client.
Okay.
So we wanted something interesting. This was the client I was talking about who don't use models.
Okay.
They don't use models. So I was the one who started model shots with them. And then slowly they also worked with other photographers and all that. Then again, when they came to me, then I wanted to bring in something a little more. They were with diamonds and the whole idea, the concentration, the hero of the shoot is diamonds. So some places we'll have to act that way. Like
Correct.
when you're doing for commercial, let it be shoes.
The product is the hero.
The product is the hero.
Yes.
That time, if you could mute all the other stuff, that is a hit for the product. So that was the whole plan for this. We wanted to mute. I've seen a lot of reference like this and all that. But one thing here is, model expression, all that doesn't matter. The whole thing which matters is the dimension or the jawline of the model. So we wanted one model, this type of a jawline, and we did this. And the client also had a restriction. They don't want to use much models in their picture. So for us, it looks more like a mannequin. Bring in more like a mannequin feel and get in slowly.
Correct.
So that's how we started.
And you convinced the client, or did the client?
No, I convinced the client.
Super.
It was a long time process because before that itself, we've done a couple of shoots with them. Once we start working, I think client, it's easy to make them understand. This was one out of the box stuff they did. Later again, they've come back to the same thing.
Okay.
But whenever they come to me, for me also, it is more interesting to work with any client.
I'm sure they would have got so much appreciation for this because
they, in fact, they liked it. Their senior management, they called us. They said it was interesting. All that we did one whole. We were in a contract with them for the rest of 2 years.
Okay.
So fully we were only working. We did different styles and all. This was one among them. So that brought in.
All right. And this one.
So this one is another interesting experiment. So the whole problem here is doing the wing. It's not so easy to do it because we see a lot of international magazines trying to do different outfits. For us, when it comes to Western outfits, we have very little options here.
Yes.
So most of my outfits, which I use on my concept shoots, are all made. I don't rent it from somebody.
Okay.
So we spend on
That is
it
made exclusively for that shoot.
Okay. And then it's over. So that's how it will be. So Anwar makes it or anybody else, but mostly Anwar has worked with me.
Okay.
So we make sure we get that outfit ready. So I think this is the third wing he did. First wing Setagla, second wing Setagla.
Okay.
So third
So
wing.
you would cancel the shoot itself or?
No. This all happens before even the shoot happens.
Okay.
We'll put it to one of the assist or somebody, and then we'll check how is the movability and all that. And also it also has to look like a wing. Sometimes if it looks odd, then it doesn't make sense. The whole shoot is a failure. So I think the wing work alone, it took 2 months because he had to figure out which material to perfectly get it done. So we were waiting for that. And then for me, I wanted Mitra to be the model because I love the way she has that facial expressions of lostness and all that. So that is something I wanted for this particular shoot. So I approached Mitra. She also liked the concept. We did two different. The other one didn't work out well. That was a subtle shoot. This one was the main shoot. So this helped. And then we wanted to do it outdoor. And then outdoor mode, we did ECR, backwater side. So just play with the lighting. So for that, we wanted to do it in the evening. So I think we would have shot some. It was again 5:30 to 6. That's the best time for us to shoot. It was just 30-40 minutes shoot.
Okay, fine. So we would love to end this podcast with a list of photographers that you seek inspiration from. I think you have answered it earlier. Do you have any other person from international space?
I have, but for me, the only problem is I like a lot of photographers. everybody for their style. You can't say, okay, you can't say this is the best one, this is the, you can't,
Correct,
that's
correct.
something you
Each
can't
one
do.
has some unique.
Each one has their own, maybe you don't know how to see it, that's how it is. So that's how I take it.
Okay.
So for me, it's artist and the art. So if the art is beautiful and the artist doesn't have that character, then for me the art doesn't make sense.
Correct, correct.
So I am sticking to only
Alright.
Prabhuddha Das Gupta,
Okay.
and then I love Tarun Kiwal. Then when it comes to beauty, I love Anushka Menon. Her beauty shots. I've met her once. I've got a chance to assist her once. One day. So I've gotten a chance. So I really loved it. That's the one day I've seen another person shoot in life. Like last 14 years, I've been in photography.
Okay, okay, okay.
One day I've seen somebody else shoot. I've been in a set. Abdina, it's Anushka.
Okay.
So these are the 3 favorite photographers.
Alright. So thank you so much, Ganesh. Thank you for coming to
Thank you
our
so much,
podcast.
Arvind. It was great, and it just didn't look like a normal interview. There was a lot of research done. There was a lot of planning done. And there were a lot of questions which I wanted to ask. Like when you said faces of India, no?
Correct.
That is something I've been asking myself. When would I travel? If
Okay.
So those are some questions. Like
Now
the
that
black
reignited
hole.
your passion.
Yes,
again.
absolutely. So thank you so much.
Thank you
so much
for
having
coming.
me.
I feel like all the photographers in India or from Chennai will find it so valuable that you shared all this information.
Thank you
so much.